Good morning, guys. Welcome back to 30 days of unplanned content, which today I decide it's content planned by spirit because it's not unplanned. I didn't plan it, but what comes through today is wanting to be coming through from spirit. So let's see what it is today. I had a little thing with my hair, but in the past, why I stopped recording videos more often was my ego telling me that my hair doesn't look good and I look old, I look tired, I look whatever. It came up with many things which held me back. So I decided that it has to stop because it's just in my mind, and some people might feel I'm looking tired, others think like I'm looking amazing. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, and that's sort of a part which is Lily, overcoming. That's my dog, by the way. You can see. Her name's Lily. Overcoming yourself and the thoughts and beliefs you hold inside of your subconscious mind, most probably taught to you or experienced by your early caretakers and so on. So I'm overcoming my, self-sabotage, bad hair, day, month, that I'm living in a more non-Western part of the island where there is not a hairdresser on every corner. So I'm going to this local lady sometimes. She has this little small, I don't have one here, small scissors which you would normally do craft, like with children. And then she cuts like my fringe and everything, and very slowly cutting the ends of my hairs. And I pay, I think, €2 something. But I feel because the scissors is not as good, sharp or whatever you call it, that my hair doesn't like it so much. So it's time to go to a proper hairdresser. I already looked one up. It's a little bit further away, but I'm gonna make it I'm waiting for the moon calendar. I don't know if you have that wherever you are in the world. In Germany and also Austria and South Tyrol, people live by the moon calendar, or people lived by the moon calendar in the past and now coming back to it. And I always look up the days which are good for haircuts, which are good for nails, which are good for a beauty package, which are good for if you, for example, do an operation or something. There's certain days where the moon is in a certain sign which are not good for operations or for going to the dentist, etc. So look it up if you're interested in. I love that, and I always go to the hairdresser looking at this day, so I leave it there now because it wants to be like that. 30 days of spirit content, or content planned by spirit. I don't know right now. I'm gonna share a little bit of my day, how I start my days normally. So when I wake up, my animals are already awake most of the time. I will wake up because somebody is trying to open the door, either wanting to have food or wanting to go out. And that's two major parts of my day are walking with my dog in the mornings and in the evenings. And no matter how I feel, no matter if I feel really good or really bad, that is my favorite part because it grounds me. I look around, I look into like the hills and the jungle and all the flowers, and I meet so many dogs and cats, and I hear the birds chirping, and I always feel restored afterwards. And you might refer to that as well, like I'm experiencing things more intense, like I'm a more sensitive person. And interesting, because yesterday I said what you identify with becomes your reality, becomes your personal reality, your personality. So that's something I would like to reframe, because sometimes it can make things a more challenging experience when you say experience yourself as a more sensitive person. You will feel energies of other people to a wider range or a higher extent, which I do. And so nature is always the best part to go. You can also, if you feel tired, worn down, and you feel like the world is heavy on your shoulders, go to nature and go to a body of water, a lake, a river, or you might have the ocean nearby, as I do. But I have to say I'm more of a river girl. I love the river so much. Maybe because my room, when I was growing up, I had the river next to my room. So every night I would fall asleep hearing the stream of the river. So it's something really familiar to me. And it calms me. So I am more drawn towards rivers and waterfalls, where the water is constantly streaming in the same pace. I was living next to the ocean while I was working in a healing retreat center, and my room was really, really close. All the rooms were close to the ocean. And when the ocean got wild during the night, hearing the waves crashing upset me. I didn't experience it as a beautiful thing, because it was like wild, and I was like, it did something to me, So I like a constant stream, calming, and a lake is also beautiful, but there you hear not really something. So I like the river, and it might be different for you. I know many people love the ocean so much. But coming back to that, if you feel run down and tired, and that you took on energies of somebody else, go to the water. It will clean you, it will cleanse you, it will take away the old energy. Set the intention, speak to the water. You can speak to everything in the world. Everything is energy. Everything, even the rocks, they have a consciousness, they have an energy, and you can speak to them. That's why I don't have my crystals here right now. Crystals they're alive, as you are. So you can speak to everything, even your body. I would highly encourage you actually to do that, to speak to your organs, to your heart. It looks like Lily speaking to the plants, to your pets, and ask for, if you feel not good, ask for healing, ask for releasing what is blocking you, what is holding you back. And if you constantly do that, because it needs to, sometimes people are like, "Bye, it's not working." We need to do things more often, establish a practice, establish also a belief. Because if we only do something once, the belief is not yet really set in stone. Yeah, it's like with a muscle. If you go to the gym, you not expect the next day that you wake up with a six-pack. Even so, that will be something really great, I have to say. But it doesn't work like that. You have to go there on a constant practice, which I've been doing since April, May, June, nearly 3 months. I can see differences, but I decided, because I realized a pattern coming up that I was going nearly every day because I wanted my body to change quickly. I was like, no, this has to stop, because that pushing and overdoing it and not listening to my body and what it actually needs is something I did for years and years and years, also with my work. And I was like, no, I don't want that anymore. So since a couple of days or weeks now, I'm like, whenever I feel like I'm really tired, I'm like, okay, body, that's fine. We're going to stop now. And I'm also not restricting chocolate or anything, because I don't believe in restrictions. They just build up that craving and that desire. They make it even stronger, because when you were a child and your mom said you cannot eat Hoopa Poopa, which was the most amazing chewing gum we had, I would want it even more. So I believe really in having it all in balance, and by not restricting yourself and not beating yourself up for wanting this, for wanting that, or for not being there yet, you will feel things will fall into place much more natural, and you will be much more calm and centered, and yeah, this is the phase of my life, like since turning 40 last year, things are shifting slowly, I have to say, but sustainably. And I feel different inside of myself. I feel things I wanted so badly in the past are falling away, because I feel I'm sort of really healing in a deeper layer. And with healing, I mean restoring balance in my nervous system. And many things I wanted in the past were due to unresolved childhood stuff, trauma. And when I started to turn towards my inner child and giving myself more space and more time, things shifted in a big way, and makes me a little bit emotional. Ooh. Because I was running after something for a long time, which was actually not what I really wanted, but I wanted to finally be seen and wanting to make it. So I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I know many of us do that because of what happened to you in childhood and what you've experienced growing up, and we want to so badly be taken serious, being seen and being loved. In the end, what we all want is being loved for who we are, and for all of us, like all of it, like for what you bring into this world. So I was running after that for a long time, and then something last year, turning 40, started to change, and I became more calm and more, I want to say it's slow, and I'm now a really big fan of slow healing, and because I tried different ways, and although everything taught me something, it wasn't sustainable. I think change can happen fast. It can, I really believe. And if you want to look into it, like Napoleon Hill had written a book that it only takes 90 days, and it does. It only takes around 90 days to change your whole life. But if you have had a lot of troubles growing up, a lot of trauma and experiences which really shook you at your core, you might first want to look into soothing yourself and not again pushing too hard. And I don't say pushing, like at some point we need to push. That's just life. But at the same time, I pushed so hard and I didn't listen to what I really actually needed. And it needs to be in balance. And I believe really first to soothe your inner child, listen to what is going on there, listen what is your deepest fear, and what is the drive behind your actions, why you want to make it, why you want to be seen so badly, why you want to be in the limelight, why you want to make $1 million, why you want to have the big house, why you want to have the big Porsche or whatever. Why is that? What's the intention behind it? What is driving that need and that desire and that vision? I think that's super important. That's baseline. Because sometimes we run after something which has never been ours, which has come from the need to prove. And then it will not bring you what you really desire. Then you will arrive there. That's why so many people have a lot of money. They have companies, they have maybe a private jet, they have a mansion, they can go to several places for holiday, but they are empty inside, because all of what has been created out of the need to be seen. And I can sing a song about this because I did it. And most of the things I was aiming for were because of I wanted to be seen. I wanted to be seen, I wanted to be loved. That inner child of mine, which was always shut down and not taken seriously, wanted to be taken seriously by creating amazing success. Yeah, so maybe that helps you, and maybe that gives you a hint towards creating something for yourself, which is not created to be seen by somebody else, but to be acknowledged by yourself and really coming from your heart space, from your true authentic self, from that, what you really, really want and desire from your heart, yes. And Wayne Dyer always said, being inspired is being in spirit. So follow your inspiration. Do what you love doing, and set goals. Set goals, because they inspire. They do. They inspire. They bring up passion. They bring up excitement. They bring up joy. But just look into why you set them. I wanted to have, big YouTube channel, and I wanted to be on stage and so many things. And then I found out, and I don't say they might happen. They might, but they might not. And that's totally fine. It's totally fine, because I realized why I wanted them was not so much to bring through the message, also to bring through the message that you can do anything, and I really, really believe that. But I wanted to prove myself. I wanted to, that people, and this is vulnerable stuff really, but I wanted to wow, people see wow, she did it. But now I'm like, I don't care, really, I don't care. There's still some small spots, but I'm getting really gentle with myself, because in the end it doesn't matter what anybody else outside of you thinks. It's only about what you think about yourself. That's what truly matters. And I believe only from that spot you are able to really serve in your full capacity with whatever you want to do. Because if I have my intention drawn outside of me, how people perceive me, I cannot be fully present in what is going on right here, right now, with, for example, that person. I do sound healing, and in the past I was so worried how the person could perceive this weird sounds. I sometimes sound like an old man, and I was so with my attention into what the person could see, could feel, and could think about me. So I wasn't really present within the moment, and also present with them. I was present, more worried about what was coming out of me. But you know what I tell you, it's a journey. It is a journey. It is a journey of becoming. It is a journey of learning and growing. The 10 years I started this, I left Germany around 10 years ago, 2016, early 2016. I learned so much. I grew so much. I got to experience many challenges, but they all brought me to realize what it is really about. And just keep on going and be authentic, because I really believe in a world, or in the world like this right now, it's a great gift if you show up in your most authentic self with all your unresolved stuff, because I truly have still things I'm working on. I'm not perfect, and I don't actually want to be, because whenever I look, for example, into Instagram and I see the perfection, I feel not so much connection to where else if I see an account where the person's showing up real and their feed doesn't look perfect, it speaks to me a lot more. So it's about being authentic, speaking your truth, being real, showing up with all of your mistakes, and because we need to reprogram that you need to be someone else to be successful. Like really, I think that's the message of this whole thing. When I was being a diplomat, working for the government, and also being in corporates in this big company, I always thought I cannot show myself. And it was like, my friend sometimes said to me, because I was always the one making jokes, and then she said, you cannot do that. People will not take you serious, and you might like cut yourself off from being from climbing up the ladder. She said that twice to me, because I just loved cracking jokes, and it made this whole thing more like. Otherwise, I was like, I'm sitting here 8 hours a day, more than 8 hours every day. I need to make a joke. If I cannot make a joke, I'm gonna die. But she said that you need to be serious. People need to take you serious. And I was like, yes, I cannot be myself, because if I be myself, I'll not climb up the ladder. And I internalized that in such a flies back. I internalized that on such an extent that I need to be taken serious. I need to be taken serious. I need to show up in a certain way, because people will not otherwise take me as their mentor, take me as their coach, or they will not believe me, whatever. You know, I really took it into my being. And this is here. This whole thing I'm doing is also, I want to break that. I'm an amazing human being. I have great values. Why should I pretend to be somebody else only to attract clients? That doesn't make sense, because I will attract clients which are not a match with me, because I attract them with a wrong sort of false persona. And I'm multifaceted. My English, it's great. So I have so many things I love, and so many things I do, and so many parts of me, and yeah, they want to stand out. So this is the message. Take off the mask of being serious, and you can most probably relate to that if you also had a corporate life before and now doing something completely different, that it can be sometimes really challenging and scary, but it's time to break free. I want to break free. And with that being said, I'm going to close this today. Send me a message if you have any questions or comment or whatever. I'm super grateful that you're here, that you watch this, and I hope it helped you in some way, shape or form. And I say to you, I see you tomorrow. Bye bye.